Well, former Liberal Cabinet Minister Kevin Krueger is known for his provocative statements, but today the MLA for Kamloops really let loose, taking aim at the media, a former colleague, and the leaders of other political parties. Take a look.
I think John Van Dongen suffers from delusions of grandeur. And this guy stands up in the legislature and yammers on about his integrity. So where's the integrity when you're the minister responsible for public safety and you rack up a string of speeding tickets as long as your arm? Integrity is all or nothing. It's nothing in that. And Adrian Dix could buy a transit pass very easily. He wouldn't need to worry about whether he lost a ticket for the day or not, because he should be able to produce his pass. But oh, he forgot that day, and oh, he accepts full responsibility. Well, it's just baloney. When we talk about that memo that he forged when he was Glenn Clark's chief of staff, and he says, and the NDP say, that's old news. It's not old news. It's a pattern, as far as I'm concerned, of dishonesty. So between John Van Dongen and Adrian Dix and the ridiculous John Cummins, there's this conspiracy to try and discredit our premier. It isn't fair. I don't think she's been given a fair shot at all. I don't think Gordon Campbell was given a fair shot.
Now, Times columnist reporter Rob Shaw was there for the outburst, and he joins us now live from the legislature. Rob, what did you make of the rant?
Well, as you know, Jim, covering the legislature, every now and again an MLA just kind of loses their cool and blows their top, and more often than not it's Kevin Krueger. And in this case, actually, it was quite a spectacle because Kevin just walked up to a group of reporters and pretty much announced that he had something to say, and then he just let loose. And he painted, as you heard, John Van Dongen and Adrian Dix and a number of others in an unflattering light, and he also defended former Premier Gordon Campbell. And I think a lot of this does come down to Gordon Campbell, because John Van Dongen has revealed some of the steps he took to ask Gordon Campbell to resign, and that angered Kevin Krueger, who's a Campbell loyalist, and so you saw a rather blunt outburst today at the legislature. One of the more interesting aspects at the end is how the Liberals tried to end this outburst by Krueger. There was two staffers slightly off camera trying to push him out of the scene and shut this thing down, but he just kept on going, and he had something on his mind and he let loose.
Now, Krueger is just the latest Liberal to offer some biting criticism of their political appointments, political opponents. I know you spoke with the Premier. Did she distance herself from these comments?
Not really, She said that Kevin Krueger isn't Mr. Politically Correct, which is quite a big understatement, and then she just kind of offered a soft critique of why we don't need an NDP government. But I think that, Kevin Krueger, for all of his bombast and for being far over the top, he does speak for some Liberals who privately, they are quite angry with John Van Dongen. Krueger had an outburst on judges a few weeks ago, and a number of Liberals agreed with him on that. They don't necessarily agree with his language, but there's a sentiment from a party that is on the ropes and down in the public opinion polls that he's saying something that needs to be said.